Hey guys, so today I am doing an unboxing, or not an unboxing, but we're doing a stash swap, and I received my box. So I did untape it, or cut the tape, because I don't like making that noise on camera. But I'm going to show you everything. I actually received my box from Julia over at the Mug Life DIY, and I am super excited to see what she sent me. And alright, so let's get going. Alright, so I see some good, oh wait, there's a note. Hold on, let's see. It says, Melissa, I hope you have lots of fun with your Dollar Tree box. Can't wait to see what you come up with. Hugs, Julia, aka the Mug Life DIY. Alright, so, okay, so I got some of these cotton thingies, cotton pods. Now, I have never purchased these. I see them all the time. It's just not something that I'm inclined to grab when I go to Dollar Tree, but I may have an idea for what I can do with those. Aw, okay, so I got this metal sign, but it's messed up a little bit. The box was kind of crushed, so I'm not really surprised. Like one of the words, one of the sides is messed up here, but that's okay. I actually might have another one of these, so if I do, maybe I'll just use that one instead. We'll see. Or I'll come up with something for that one. Oh, see, we didn't get any of this nautical stuff. Okay. Aw. So one of the starfish is broken. That's okay. So I got these little starfish. There's still two good ones, so that's good. Oh, these are cute. See, we didn't get any of this stuff. These are cute. They're little seahorse clothespins. That's cute. Okay, so I got one of these metal hashtag signs. Ugh. Okay. One of these. I have one, but it's the house. And this is actually kind of cracked here too. They must have really done a number on this box, man. That's okay. So we got this. Okay, we got this jute ribbon here. That's cute. I like these. I can work with that. I got two of these cutting boards. These are always good to use. And then, whoa, last two items. Okay. All right, these are always good. These frames are always good for something. And I might actually have some, like, not the nautical ones, but like the regular ones that they used to have. So might be able to do something with those. And like I said, these frames are always good for stuff. So, all right, guys. So this is everything that I got. All right, Julia, you sent me some good stuff. You sent me some good stuff. So let me get my brain in gear here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this stuff yet. All right, let's see what I come up with. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to use are these cotton pods. I'm gonna be using one of these little gumball machine containers. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut the top part of it in half. And initially, when I was looking at this, all I wanted to do was paint the bottom part of it. But the paint that I was using just wasn't sticking. It wasn't adhering to it. And I didn't put a coat of Mod Podge on there, so that was my fault. But then I just decided to go ahead and take it outside and spray paint it. So I spray painted the bottom of the little container, and I spray painted the matchbox. And you don't see it here, but you'll see it in the next like screen or whatever. So then I'm just going to go ahead. While I was letting that dry, initially I went ahead and started moving on to the next step, which was I just took some food coloring, added some water, and I'm just using purple and pink. You can obviously use whatever, color you want. So I just kind of lightened it up because it was really, really bright. Then I got some paper towels just so that I can kind of dry out, dry it out so there wasn't food coloring dripping all over the place. So then I took one of the smaller cotton pods. Initially, I was going to use the big one, and I was like, that might be a little bit too big. So I just grabbed one of the small ones, and I pulled out the actual like cotton from the one stem there. And what I did was like I said, I pulled them off the stem, and then I just took them and kind of like pulled them apart, loosened up, because they're really condensed, they're really tight. So I just kind of spread them apart so it looked more like a cotton ball instead. And then I dipped them into the food coloring. And once I took them out, I just made sure I squeezed out the excess water. And then I put them on the paper towel and I let them dry. So once I finished, I did four of them. I was going to do a few more, but I figured four was more than enough. So I just went ahead, did that to four of them. And like I said, I just let them dry. And once they were dry, I just kind of shaped them up. And then I took the couple of the matches from that matchbox and I glued the stick. I cut off like the part that you strike on the box. I cut that piece off and then I took some hot glue, put it on the tip of the little stem or the stick, and I glued it to the bottom of the cotton ball. And if you can't tell, I am making some cotton candy, and I'm making a cotton candy machine, a mini one. So then I did that to all four of them. And once I was done doing that, this is when you see I took these pieces out and I just spray painted them just because it was easier and it took better. So just went ahead and did that. Then I'm going to take my white acrylic paint pen and I'm just going to make some little, designs on the front of it to look like the panel for the cotton candy machine. And then I took my black paint marker and I just made like a knob. And once I was done doing that, I glued the bottom of the gumball machine container. I glued that to the box. And then once I did that, I also glued the lid that I cut in half into the container. I hope that makes sense. I wish the lid was all white, but this one for some reason had like this orange, tint to it, I guess to match the initial color of it, but it is what it is. It doesn't look too bad. And then I'm going to take this foam board, it's just a scrap piece that I had, and this jumbo popsicle stick, and I'm going to cut a piece of the foam board. I didn't measure it, I just kind of cut a piece that was smaller than that. And then I did the same thing with the popsicle stick. I just cut two pieces the same size. And then I took a purple paint marker and I colored them, or I painted them, those stems or those legs, purple. So then once I was done doing that, I went ahead and I glued those two pieces of the popsicle stick. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I glued the popsicle sticks to the foam board and I just made them like little legs on the foam board. So once I finished gluing those on there, I used my little tool that I got from the Dollar Tree that is like for, I really don't know what it's for. I just kind of randomly use them, but I just poked holes through the foam board. Obviously you can use whatever you have, but this worked really well for me. So I just took it and poked a few holes in there. And then once I was done doing that, I took the little cotton candy stems and I stuck them inside the hole. And like I said, I only made four of the cotton candies. You can make as many as you want, but I thought four fit on here perfectly. And then once I was done doing that, I took one of my fine tip Sharpies and I just wrote cotton candy on the front. I was gonna, and I also put some extra little dots on that panel there. I was gonna print something, but I couldn't get anything to print out the right way, so I just wrote it on there. And this is how it turns out, and it looks really good with my little fair project that I made and lemonade stand. So, guys, today I am part of a stash swap hop with these amazing ladies. There's 7 of us all together, and I will have the link to the next person that is in the hop, and that's who I sent my box to. So make sure you check them out and check them all out and let them know I sent you. If you're coming over here from the plate from the hop, welcome and thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you stick around and join my crazy little family here. And be sure to hit that notification bell. And I have all my information for my Instagram and my email and all that stuff in my description box. So check everything out, send me a message, and go join me over on Instagram. So for the next project, I'm going to use this canvas sign. I'm just going to go ahead. I tried to remove the canvas with my handy dandy staple remover, but it was the like the wood or the particle board that this was made out of was like really soft, and it was just messing it up. So I just went ahead and cut the canvas off, and I just removed, all the canvas, and I just left those staples in there because trying to take them out was just messing it up. So I just left them on there and decided I'd figure out how to cover it later. And sorry, I must have hit the my phone with my hair or something and I didn't even realize it. But once I remove the canvas, I am going to spray paint those pieces black. I'm also going to be using these wood planks that I got from the Dollar Tree and these jumbo size, or these are the jumbo size popsicle sticks. So I stained the 2 planks and the 12 popsicle sticks with my Craft Smart antique wax. And then I'm going to measure the craft sticks out and I'm going to cut them to fit the wood frame from the canvas picture. And then once I was done doing that, I just went ahead and glued them along the side of the frame that had the staples on it just to kind of cover that up and just give this piece a little bit more, detail. And I just like the wood stain with black. I just love that combination. I've made a couple of pieces so far that have those colors and I really, really like it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that to both of those canvases. And, it's not going to be perfect because they are popsicle sticks and, they're all shaped a little bit differently. So, but it covered up the whole piece and they fit on there. And like I said, I think I did 12 of them, and 12 popsicle sticks was perfect for both of the canvas pieces there. So sorry for my headshot there. So yeah, so I just went ahead and glued all of those on there, and like I said, they fit perfectly, and you could do this any color you want. You don't have to stain it. You can paint it. You can do anything that matches your decor. But like I said, this is a combination that I've become quite fond of personally. I think it gives it like a modern farmhouse or like an industrial farmhouse kind of look, and it's not as, I don't like the shabby chic. I don't like the pinks and the frillies and all that stuff. I just really like the bold colors and the darker colors, and that's just, my personal opinion. And this would go well, for Father's Day gifts. Men, like the darker colors, so I like the darker colors personally. Okay, enough of a rant about the dark colors. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take those wood planks and I'm going to, or first I'm going to take my little hand sander and I'm going to smooth out the edges, and I'm going to take the stain and kind of just cover up the edges there just to make them match the rest of it, because once I sanded it down and cut them, the color kind of changed there. But I'm going to take the wood planks and I'm just going to hot glue one on that middle piece from the little canvas there, and then I'm going to glue the other one to the bottom of the canvas. You'll see what I'm talking about right here, and I'm just going to hot glue them. You could obviously wood glue or crazy glue E6000, use whatever it is that you use. My Gorilla Glue hot sticks glue sticks as I always say, those are my favorite and they work perfectly, so I don't need anything else. But obviously, you can do whatever you want to do. So once I glued the bottom one in, I glued the little cutting board to the top, and this is how it turns out, and this is what it looks like with a piece I just recently made. So for my next one, I'm going to be using 4 of the items. And so these 2 pieces here were giving me the flux. I had an idea, then I looked at it and I thought it looked stupid. So so I said, no, I'm not going to do that. And then I had a couple of ideas kind of going through my head, and none of them were playing out. I tried to use other pieces that I had in my stash. I just couldn't think of anything that I wanted to do, especially because the little lighted sign was broke. It was kind of cracked. So some of my plans just weren't working. And I stared at these 2 pieces and stared at them, and I didn't know what to do with them. So then I was like, well, maybe I'll just stain it. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll just, you know, paint it. I didn't know what to do. So initially, I was going to paint it and I was going to do something and give it to one of my daughters. And then I did not like the way that that looked. So I got a little bit frustrated and I set it to the side and just said, forget it. I'll, think about it as I'm working on the other projects, because I didn't like the way that it was looking and I was getting annoyed. So I just went ahead and I set that aside and started working on my next project. So the next project, I'm going to be using this thankful sign, the starfish, the seahorses, and I think that's it for oh, and the ribbon. The ribbon was like a last minute addition to this project. But I'm gonna go ahead, remove that little hanger piece, and they just pull right out. And I just kind of sanded it down, smoothed out the pieces that kind of got roughed up. And then I'm taking the little prongs out from it that hold the insert to the sign. I'm gonna pull those off because I'm gonna be using the back of it, and I didn't want that on there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and glue the backing onto it, and I'm gonna glue it on in a way that if I wanted to use the thankful part of it, I still could. So you're not gonna see the glue on the other side. Then I'm gonna take these little seahorse clips and I'm gonna kind of place them in on the back of the frame there, and I'm going to use my seahorse, and I only use my starfish. I only used one of them. So, it wasn't a big deal that I only had the 2 that weren't broken, because I only ended up using one. I thought I was going to do something else with it, and that didn't work out. So I moved on to something else and did this. So then I'm just kind of arranging all the pieces on there. I thought it was kind of plain there, so I went and I got my container of seashells, and I've had this thing for years. I got it at Target like years ago on clearance, and I don't use them very often, but they're sitting there. My daughters like to use them, so I just went ahead and grabbed a couple of the seashells from that container, and I was just trying to arrange things, and then I noticed that the little nose from the seahorse was broken, and both of the blue ones, there was 3 blue ones and 2 of them were broken. So I just ended up fixing that a little bit later. But I went ahead, found a couple different shapes of the seashells, and I just arranged them on the frame. So then I went ahead, and because this is not wood or particle board, it's got like some weird, not weird, but it just has like a covering over it. It's like some kind of not laminate, I don't know what it's called. It's got like a cover over it. It's not wood. Um, I'm just gonna go ahead and paint with this. I forgot what the color of the blue was, but it was sent to me by Plaid, so I went ahead and used that. And then I'm going to start gluing all the pieces onto the canvas. So I start with my starfish, and then I just kind of work, all the pieces on there and fit them on there the way that I wanted to. And all I did to fix that little seahorse nose was I just took some hot glue and just put it on there and stuck it together. I could have used like some crazy glue or something like that, but I just went ahead and grabbed a little bit of the hot glue, and that worked just fine. So then I went ahead and glued the seashells on there, and I glued all the little clips on there. And then I decided that it was just kind of a little bit plain, and I wanted to show that it can be used to like put some pictures or, notes or anything like that on there. So it's a functional piece if this is your decor style. I'm actually going to put this in my bathroom, or not, maybe not in my bathroom, but next to my bathroom. I have like this little cubby, and last year I did a lot of nautical decor and like, summer decor like that. So I think I'm just going to kind of include that in that little area there. But I just went ahead and cut one of the little starfish off of the canvas and just added it on there, just like as an extra little, decoration there, kind of a little touch. And then the last minute addition to this was I decided to use the ribbon as like a holder, or like a hanger, but to use, to hang it. So I just went ahead, hot glued a piece of it all the way around. And then at the top, I kind of left it loose so that that was the hanger part on the top. And like I said, I just went all the way around, hot glued it on there, and then that was it. That's what I used as a hanger, and I thought that was perfect. I thought it was really cute, and it worked out well. So I was able to add another one of the pieces that was in my box and use another one in the same project here. So this is what it looks like when it's all done and all put together. And then if you wanted to, you could still use the thankful side as well. So then for my last one, it's these two this metal piece and this wood piece. I did not know what to do with it. So what I ended up doing was excuse me, I took the little wood piece apart, and I kind of just started cutting the words out. And as I was cutting, and then I separated the pieces, I broke the little wood pieces, the backing off of it. And I just took my box cutter and I just started like cutting the shapes out of it, and not the shapes, the words out of it. And as I was doing that, the only one that survived was blessed. So I just used the blessed one. I mean, the blessed word, because as I was cutting like the other pieces, they just started cracking because of the piece that was broken. So I just went with blessed and called it a day. So I just went over it with my box cutter and just, kept going over it until it it came apart. And once it came apart, I just kept shaping it and cutting off pieces of it until it was the shape that I wanted. And then once it was all done, I sanded it down. And here, this is where I was trying to like figure out how I was going to cut the other pieces off of there. But once I started, the G broke off, and they just started breaking. So I just started shaping it. Sorry for my headshot there again, but it gets in the way sometimes. So I just went ahead, took my box cutter, and just shaped out. I kind of like made it an oval, and I just kept going over it until it was the shape that I wanted. And then once it was, all cut out, I just took my little hand sander and I sanded down the edges to smooth it all out. And this little hand sander has come in handy because, because it's so much smaller, you can use it for more, intricate and detailed sanding pieces. Excuse me. So then the next thing that I'm doing is just taking my Craft Smart stain again, and I'm just going over it, giving the little wood part just a quick coat, nothing, nothing too heavy, nothing too light. I just took whatever was left on the cap there, and I just went ahead and covered the whole thing front and back, and took a paper towel and wiped off any of the excess. And I really like this wood stain, or this wax from Craft Smart, because it's not as waxy. And I say this all the time, and I know that sounds weird, but it's true. It's just not as waxy. So then I took a piece of this jute hanger. It's from another piece that I have. I always save the little jute twine pieces just because they come in handy for stuff like this, and you never know when you're just going to need, a little piece. So then once I was done doing that, I just hot glued the little wood sign to it, and this is how it turned out. And guys, I didn't use this happy sign. It was just too far gone, and I did not have another one. So this is how everything turned out. And I did add a piece to the cotton candy machine that I found in my stash. It was just a little plastic piece, and I just put it in the center there. And that's it, guys. Be sure to check out Everybody in the Hop. And until next time, be blessed and be the reason someone smiles.